A lot of writers, both new and experienced, tend to worry about things that they shouldn't. And today I want to focus on 6 particular things that writers worry about way too much. By the way, my name's Brandon McNulty. I'm the author of Bad Parts, also the author of Entry Wounds, and welcome to my writing channel. Every now and then my subscribers will reach out to me with some concerns about writing. It might involve the craft of writing or the career path or just general writing advice. And over time I've noticed that certain things keep popping up again and again and again that really shouldn't be. So today I wanted to address 6 particular things that writers worry about way too much. And the first thing writers worry about too much is finding the perfect writing environment. A lot of writers seem to think that in order to be productive and creative, they need to be in some kind of special location, whether it's a certain room in their house or the coffee shop on the corner, or they have to be somewhere at a certain time, or whatever it is. And the truth is, what you really need is just discipline. You need to sit down and force yourself to concentrate on what you're working on. Number 2 thing writers worry about too much: finding the best writing software. A lot of writers are concerned that they don't have the best software and they need it in order to write their novel. They need some kind of special software that'll solve all their problems for them, and it'll help them organize and do all kinds of other things. And yes, there are certain programs out there. I know a lot of writers who swear by Scrivener, but I also know a lot of writers who love Scrivener and have never actually finished a book because they're simply not disciplined enough. And the thing is, writing software will not write a book for you. You have to sit down at your desk and get the work done. You can do this, and you can do this on a pen and paper. You can do this with Microsoft Word, Google Docs, any kind of free software out there, any kind of paid software out there. But the truth is, the software does not dictate how good your story is going to be. That's on you, and you got to be focused and you got to be disciplined. Number 3 thing writers worry about too much: getting an author website. I'm going to make this very simple for you. You do not need an author website until you have a finished manuscript that has been polished up and is ready to sell. So in other words, if you have a novel that's written and you're hoping to send it out to agents or send it out to small presses or publish it yourself, that is the time to worry about getting an author website. But if you just started writing and you're learning the craft and you're working through that first novel and you're struggling and you're making mistakes and you're learning new things every day, that's what you should be focusing on. Focus on growing as a writer. Don't focus on, spending time building a website and, paying annual fees, getting that website up there. Because honestly, if you don't have anything out there that's ready to be published, nobody's really having a reason to go to your website. So don't worry about that. Focus on the more important things. Focus on your growth as a writer. Number 4 thing writers worry about too much: having a strong social media presence. And this especially applies to newer writers, because if you're a new writer and you're spending tons of time on Facebook and Twitter and Discord and all the other social media platforms, and you're doing this and you're telling yourself that this is benefiting your writing career because you're building connections and you're building a following and there's going to be a big crowd of people that you can one day sell your book to, you have to also ask yourself, okay, all that time I'm spending there having discussions about who's the best Spider-Man and what season of Ozark is the best, all that time you're spending there on social media, what if you spent more time on your writing and developing as a writer and putting that book out there that you dream of writing? That's something that you should be concerning yourself with. Social media has a place, but too much time spent on social media can be a dangerous thing, especially if you're a newer writer, so focus on what's most important. Number 5 thing people worry about too much: doing research. And if you follow this channel, you know I love to beat up on the subject of over-researching. And the thing is, a lot of writers tell themselves that they need to do tons of research before they can actually start writing the book. They say that, well, I can't write a single word until I do my research. And after I'm done with my research, I need to research a little more, and then I need to also do some sub-research and some bonus research, and when I'm done with all my research in 27 years, then I'll start my book. Then I'll actually start writing. And the problem with this is that you're procrastinating. You're using research as an excuse not to start your book because you're afraid. And the thing is, you need to just dig into that book. You need to start writing it, and once you start writing it, you will find the areas that you're weak in. You'll figure out what you don't know and what you actually have to research. And then the number 6 thing that writers worry about, and we all worry about this one, we worry that we're not good enough to write. And this is something that especially newer writers face, and if you are a newer writer, you have to accept one thing, and it's that right now you suck. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's okay to suck at the start of your career. And in fact, it's okay to suck several years into your career, because as long as you recognize that you need to keep growing as a writer and you need to put in more work, you will eventually get better as a writer, and you will reach that level where you're able to write a great short story or a great novel or whatever it is you're trying to work on. And I think it's also important to keep in mind that some of the best writers out there don't believe in themselves on a regular basis. Alan Moore, who's one of the most famous comic book authors out there, he's written things like Watchmen, V for Vendetta, he's written Swamp Thing runs and Batman the Killing Joke. He's written some of the most famous comic books out there. And I've read interviews with him where he said that he sits down to write, and more often than not, he's doubting himself and he's wondering, how am I ever going to put another word down on paper? I can't even begin to start writing this. And then there's George R. R. Martin. I've read an interview with him where he said that when he was writing Game of Thrones, he was saying to himself, man, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Maybe I should just give up writing and become a plumber. Maybe I'm just not ready for this, and maybe I never will be. But as we know, I mean, Alan Moore and George R. R. Martin are big names in the business, and they are successful people who have managed to overcome that doubt, have managed to overcome those fears of, am I good enough? And the thing is, we all face them, and all you have to do is just fight through them and find the time and find the energy to write. So I hope this helps. Keep an eye out next week, because I'll be doing another video on this topic, and I'll be focusing on things that writers should be concerned about. And we'll have a lot of fun with that one next week. Question of the day: what is the number one thing that concerns you the most as a writer? Let us know in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to support the channel, please pick up a copy of either one of my novels. Also, be sure to check out my other videos. Hit the like and subscribe buttons for me. Share this video with a friend. And as always, remember to keep on writing.